Well, hello and welcome and welcome and hello. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Danny Vegas, Danny Deals, Danny Dimes, they call me, on behalf of Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen. We would like to say welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Guys, enough of this. Let's get the man bun out. Let's get serious. It's Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. It is Friday, August 25th, 2023. The time is 12:31 p.m. out here in beautiful Los Angeles, 3:30 out in NYC. Hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are, guys. We have 30 minutes left in the trading day. It's been a classic SoFi day. I call it the mountain and hump pattern. There's some shenanigans at the beginning of the day. You see the spikes, you see the abrupt sell off. This time it started right at 10:15. It always starts on like a 15-minute interval, and the stock sold off for 45 minutes. And then it consolidated a little bit down there, and then it just went right back up. And it's been on sort of this steady climb, basically for the last several hours. Volume again is low, guys. 20 million shares traded. Um, I think one thing is clear. If you look at the SoFi stock and the last, you know, couple of months, you see this 813, 810, whatever range you want to call it. This support has been extremely strong, and um, nothing indicates that probably more than the 5-day chart, or if you go back a little bit more, because you'll see that not only is the stock bouncing off that yellow and basically the blue line, they're almost, overlapping each other at this point. The blue line being the bottom of the midterm channel, and the yellow line being sort of that 813, 812 area of support. But if you look, guys, the fall basically stopped here. The downward price action basically stopped on the 11th. I mean, that at that point, the stock bottomed out at $8.47. Now you can see that $8.47 started to be a little bit of resistance, or excuse me, support here on the 11th. That area was support again on the 14th. That area is support again on the 15th. And then the stock continued to sell off downward and sideways until we found our ultimate level of support, El Ultimo Hombre. The Last Stand, the Alamo line, General Custer's support line here. But as you get to that line, you see the stock doesn't just bounce off. You see here, these are points. It just bounces off. I like the way the stock is actually consolidating at the support levels, actually making a market. I think the stock consolidating for several hours or even a day at that level is, far more indicative that that level is critical than market makers just deciding to crash the stock down a little bit and then bounce right off. This is telling me, buyers and sellers are coming together here, making a market, and that this is an important level. And you don't usually come down, see a lot of flat consolidation, and then come down again. Now it can if the algo is stepping the stock down, but I don't really think that's what's going on here. So right now that 847 level is looking like resistance over the last couple of days. 813, 810 again looking like support. But if you look at this 3-month chart, guys, it really looks like we're back in the channel. It looks like we're going to regain that blue line and start moving up again. Of course, so much depends on the overall market. So much depends on interest rates, things like unemployment claims, the real estate market in China, just about anything. A stiff breeze could crash the SoFi stock. Let's take a look at what the options are doing. Obviously, those $8 calls are just probably inside the money at this point, but not really banking. Yeah, well, they're up 57% today because they basically became worthless yesterday. So the volume is fairly moderate. You have a lot of calls at 750, which are up $8, which are up about 5,000 each, and then the 7,200 calls that are open at $8.50 are down 50 cents on the day. So those were your more ambitious buyers. Those were not there yesterday. So I guess some people were expecting this little bit of a green day today, but was not nearly green enough to make any $8.50 options relevant on the day. In any case, guys, you know, it looks like we're basically consolidating and building support. At that $8.10, $8.13 area. The question is, are we going to be able to break back through that $8.47 and, regain that upward trajectory, or are we going to fall back into sort of this sideways accumulation phase that we see? That's not actually a bad result, guys. We're basically trying to tread water and not get killed until SoFi can make a net profit. I do not expect a great earnings report next quarter. I feel like next quarter they're going to set everything up. They're going to really push with football season starting. They're going to really push for membership. They're really going to push spending. They're going to acquire as many members as they can. They're going to sell as much as they can to those members. And then Q4, I think, is where they start to trim everything back a little bit on the spending side, really start to push through those dollars coming in and just absolutely ensure that they're going to make that gap net profit, because they, Noto and LaPointe, especially Noto, has, basically promised and assured they're going to make that gap net profit for so long and so many times now that it's going to be really, really bad for the stock if they can't do so. Guys, there's not that much to say on a Friday. I actually, for once, when I say I don't want to go on forever, I actually want to mean it because there's just not that much going on with the stock. The stock has been very resilient. A day like yesterday, I didn't get a chance to make a video. I was very busy with a new business that me and Princess J are opening up. But it's taken a lot of my time, guys. I was cleaning up plaster last night till about 11 p.m. Back at work 5:30 this morning. Oh, it's the life of a working man, the life of Danny Deals. I feel like I'm just pushing that rock up a hill. It comes all the way back down. Who's that guy, Sisyphus or somebody? No, he flew too close to the sun. I don't know what the fuck. Who's the guy who pushed the rock up the hill? Tell me down in the comments, or don't. Get the hell out of your office. Get off YouTube. Go do something else. Do not like and subscribe. Whatever you do, you stupid. Don't like and subscribe to this channel. That's not reverse psychology. Don't do it. You don't want to be here. But anyway, guys, let me just do a quick look at the news. There's been some good press over on tip ranks. There was no new ratings today. This is getting good press in Investor Place, which is quite a change. So sentiments have flipped. Still some negative articles over on Seeking Alpha. Not particularly unusual over there, but some good articles as well. So the mood has been mixed. Over on Ortex, you can see volume has been very low, but the stock has been holding its own. That's basically telling me, market makers could obviously push the stock back down in the sevens. They could push the stock wherever they want, but they have to sell it and they have to short it. And I think they know that institutions are going to be coming in H2 2023 in anticipation of profit in Q4 2023 announced in Q1 2024. So I just think these guys are gun shy. I don't think they want to sell the stock down under 8. I don't think they have the minerals to push it under 8. And I just don't think there's really much benefit. I think the shorts should have covered, down at 5 back in May or whatever, and they neglected to do so, and they shorted it on the way up, and I don't think they thought the earnings report was going to be as good as it was, guys. And if you look at the short, it actually finally went down a bit. Like, this has been very, very flat, nothing much coming down. And then on August 8th, stepped down a little bit, flat again, and then yesterday, stepped down again. So just taking a look at the overview, it's still about 13% of the free float is on loan, estimated short interest of the free float is 13%. Free float on loan is 9.51. That's actually up very slightly in the last week. First time that's increased in months. Shares on loan, again, up slightly in the last week. Again, first time that's increased in many, many months. And same with utilization. back up. Let's just take a look at the cost to borrow max. Cost to borrow max today is 8.6%, which is very, very high for SoFi and does not indicate that they're actually returning 1.5 million shares. There are shenanigans going on with the dark pool, and it takes Ortex time to catch up. If you look at the actual holders of the SoFi stock and you go ahead and filter it by the last reporting date, you will see that Chad Borton, who I believe is an insider, maybe Technesis, added 30,000 shares. Silver Lake filed the last week. They didn't add, but they still hold 31 million shares of the SoFi stock. Vanguard, 74 million. BlackRock, 38 million. State Street adding. Geode adding. Charles Schwab adding. Murray adding. All these companies just adding. Hundreds of thousands. There's Goldman Sachs. They only have 372,000, but DE Shaw added 11 million shares. Two Sigma Advisors added 13 million shares. So, there are some hedge funds buying or adding to their positions, and I think when the filings come out, end of Q3 area, there will be significantly more institutional investors in SoFi than there are today. And by the end of Q4, I think it'll really go up if they are believing that gap net profit is going to come in for Q4 as advertised. So guys, that's the SoFi stock. Really not that much going on this week, but I think the stock held up really well. Like I said, day like yesterday when the market was just getting hammered, that would have been a day SoFi of old, could have sold off like 10%. And then, of course, getting a boost from Affirm. Affirm turned in a much better quarter earnings report than most people expected. So, that probably helps lift the fintech sector just a little bit. Their stock is up $4.02 or 29% on the day. But Upstart actually down 2%. So I think a lot of money coming out of Upstart and going to Affirm, where SoFi is just more holding steady. PayPal again up a little bit today. Started at PayPal position the other day and been adding to it. Really like PayPal down in the $60 area. They make a good amount of cash flow, have a good market share, and the company's actually starting to grow. They have some new management there. So guys, it's the SoFi stock. Ticker symbol is SOFI. As far as what's going to happen next week, I have absolutely no idea, but I'm just very happy that the stock continues to hold that 813 support line that has been critical for several months now, going back to June. There's no appetite to sell the stock lower, and I believe with the market, the NASDAQ getting hammered the last few weeks, the stock has held up very well, and I expect it to recover up into the channel by these blue lines. And then after that, I hope we will go up, but so much depends on the overall market. And Hopium will get you nowhere. You need hard numbers. If you got in the low eights, as I know many of you did, congratulations. If you're not in yet, you have to decide, are these interest rates eventually going to cause a recession, cause the SoFi stock to start to see more defaults, cause the stock to go back down, at least into the sevens? A lot of people are saying it's going to go back down into the sixes. I hear a lot of people saying, hey, man, I'm going to buy at 6. I'm finally convinced, but I'm just going to buy at 6. Like, guys, okay, that's a massive, massive decrease. That's not a bullish sentiment on the SoFi stock. It's like, well, I believe in the stock. If it's worth like, a third less than it is, I'm a buyer. Yeah, I mean, of course, but the market is saying this is what it's worth today. So the only decision you can make today is if you want to buy at this level. I think it's a good entry point. Remember, the stock was the offering price for the SPAC was $10. And a lot of institutions were buying it above that level, and you can buy the stock right about meow for $8.31. What a deal. What a country. What an exciting time we live in. Guys, it's Danny Deals. It's the SoFi stock. It's un poco mas. On behalf of Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen, I would like to wish you all, or we would like to wish you all, a very, very good weekend. Stay safe out there. Enjoy yourself. Don't worry about your stocks. They will be here to torment you again on Monday. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.